So there. So I'm a network support technician. My role actually straddles the line between the service desk and the network admin team. So I have roles that fall on both sides of supporting end users on a day-to-day basis, and then I will go deeper into the network hardware and assist the technicians with that. So my role within the credit union is I'm a network support technician. I troubleshoot network connectivity issues and general PC issues also. And as a support specialist, I'm the help desk for the help desk. So if Andre has an issue, I am the person, I'm one of the people that he would go to assist him with resolving issues. Uh, I also help lead different projects that we have and department initiatives. But I also will jump on the phones when we have high call volumes and when we have people out on leave or even to help cover different lunch breaks. Uh, as a network support technician, I'm kind of a jack of all trades for with the credit union. Okay, so for my typical day is I'll go through different tickets that we have, and if I see that I can resolve it and get it done, I will do that. And if they're in the Dayton area, I'm based out of Columbus area, out of the Dublin office. So I'll typically take anything that's in the Dublin or Columbus area and assign it to myself or another team member who's in the Columbus area. And then if needed, I'll help distribute the tickets out to different partners in the Dayton area. So we can make sure that those end users in the Dayton area are covered. I'll attend the morning IT system status meeting. That's just tells us how we're doing systems, if we have anything up or down, any change controls that are going on in the environment. So if we're pushing patches out, or if we're making network changes or security protocol changes, we go through all of those. So we have a broad idea of what's going on in the environment. So if we see an issue, we know who to go to, who is making a change, so they can see what happened with their change and we can get a resolution quickly. Uh, I order supplies that are needed for the department, so I'll also find tools if we need tools, and I'll order specialized tools, or I'll order any of the network gear that I might need for the Columbus region. Meetings, I would say I'm 1 to 2 hours a day in different meetings or working with people, collaborating, trying to resolve issues that are going on. The majority of my work is individualized, but I do work in team settings if there's a problem where we're having connectivity issues. For example, this morning we've been having problems where PCs have been dropping off the network. I'll get with the technician on the floor who'll go up, let me know what get me some information I need so I can look at what's going on to the PC with the PC in the background on the switch. And then I will do anything that I need to do on my end. Then I'll instruct the technician what he needs to do on his end to assist me with resolving the partner's issue. And then we'll make sure that the change is took, and then I'll reapply any setting changes that I had to modify so we could get the PC back online, and we'd verify that the PC is back working as intended with our appropriate security protocols. I mean, that's it. I mean, I do calls, I have meetings. Pretty much I do everything Andre does and then some more. So work-life balance, I noticed that was a question you guys had in here. So for us, it's typically, there is a Saturday rotation because we do support business Monday through Saturday. That's typically 8 a.m. to 2:30, because we do have phone reps on the phone until 2 o'clock. We make sure there's a 30-minute window so they can wrap up any calls they were on. And then my typical working hours are 8 to 5 with an hour lunch. I am luckily one of the hourly paid partners also, so I do have potential for overtime. With my role and the other service desk technicians, we aren't on call per se, but it's an inherent inherent call that we are on call 24/7, because we are provided with company laptops and phones. We hardly are called that often, but if there is an issue, you are expected to answer your phone, and if you need to go in, you go in, or you can do it. Sometimes we can assist remotely, but there are some times where we'd have to go in and assist on a day off. Uh, for education, I actually have an associate's degree in applied uh, electronics engineering technology. Uh, I got mine back in '96. So I've been in the field for a little bit. So I've been doing IT support for about 25 years. I actually started in the Columbus area with microelectronics. I worked for Winbook Computer Company, which was one of the first laptop companies. So I was started there as quality control. Then I moved up to service desk. And with service desk, you would receive the laptop in, do any repairs, determine if it was uh, in warranty or out of warranty repairs, write estimates, send those estimates out. And then once they were done, you just return the hardware to the customer. After that, I went to Express Scripts, where I started out as a PC/LAN technician. Uh, that is where I got my first bit of networking in, and that is with supporting desktop PCs in a network environment. And that was all from building them, joining into the domain, resetting user passwords, connecting network printers. I learned a lot of troubleshooting there, server skills, some scripting to make my life easier when I was validating whether servers were online. In that position, I was over, when I started there, we had 1,800 employees in one physical location at Columbus. And I was in a mail order pharmacy where we would receive prescriptions in, process those prescriptions. We'd receive the prescription in, do all the front end processing, it would flip over to the back end, and then we'd actually fulfill that order to go out to cut patients. So I learned a lot about printers, PCs, scanners. I did server maintenance. I really wasn't on the network side per se with getting into the switches and doing any configuration or troubleshooting. I was more the hands on the other side of the phone for the engineers for the company at the time. Customer service is a very important skill for either the service desk side, and also when you're the engineer side on the support specialist side, because you've got to hear what's the technicians seeing, what the partner's seeing, weed out what you don't need to know for either there's where there's fluff, and then come up with a determination of what's going on and what other teams that I might need to engage to resolve the issue that's occurring. Uh, for me, I'm actually studying for my CCNA, which is a Certified Cisco Network Associate, which is the first certification in the Cisco line of products. And there are a lot of them. One thing that Andre did not mention, besides the CompTIA A plus certification, there is also a CompTIA IT fundamentals, which would, if you didn't have an A plus and you were studying for it, if you had that fundamentals, it would give you a little bit of edge up on somebody who was just maybe had a little experience, but not that certification. That certification at least is showing you're trying to make an attempt to get those skills. And as Andre said, there's a Network Plus. Uh, Network Plus is one step above from the A plus. It is more of the networking side, and it's a more generalized certification, where the Cisco CCNA is mainly for people who are running Cisco hardware. Uh, you asked what we were looking for the IT field. For the IT field, it's best is having the A plus certification is one of the best things I can have for someone wanting to start in the field. Also, a desire to learn, because in this job I'm learning something every day, or at least maybe not every day, but at least 2 to 3 times a week. I'm learning something that I didn't know prior to that. Um, So one thing that wasn't covered, but due to the nature of us, where we have all these satellite offices, we do require our technicians to have a driver's license, because I do know there are people who don't have a driver's license, but do as needed, we need it for our role. There are rules where you don't need it, where you're just sitting in a call center, or there's one main building you're in and you don't have any expectation to go to anywhere else. That's fine. Uh, we also are looking for eagerness to learn. And one thing we will do when we're interviewing someone is we'll ask them what the pinout is for a network cable. And we really don't care if the person can tell us the pinout. We're wanting to hear more that, I don't know, and I'd have to look that up. We're wanting someone who'll say, I don't know, but I'm not afraid to look that up. That's the biggest thing, is not being afraid to look something up. I mean, I've been doing this for, as I said, 25 plus years. I look stuff up all the time. I'll Google something in the middle of a phone call, so I don't have to have the partner call back in or me reach back out to them. I'm doing the research on a second screen, seeing what steps I can take besides what I've already done to try to resolve their problem. Uh, sorry, got to go to my cheat sheet. Sorry, I'm sorry, mine's kind of shorter, but Andre covered honestly a lot of what I would needed to cover also. So mine feels more just an extension of his. So with the big thing is knowing how to troubleshoot and eliminate problems. So how I do it is, like, if somebody's having a problem at their PC won't turn on. Okay, is my first question is, for example, is it plugged in? Yeah, of course it's plugged in. Okay, could you look at the power strip on it? Does it have a light on the power strip? Is there light on that power strip, to see if it's a problem with the furniture or actually the hardware? I try to go to where the start of the problem is, where it could be. So if it's in the cube furniture, it's my problem, but it's not my problem. I have to get facilities engaged, because there might be something problem with the electrical. So that's where I try to differentiate it. I try to go to see is it something I can solve, or is it something I need to engage another team with? And then when engaging another team, I try to give them as much information of the problem that I can have, whether it be screenshots, whether I tested voltage on something, if I'm getting facilities engaged, because there was a day, one day last week where a cube, one of the monitors wasn't getting power, but the power strip light was on. But as soon as I plugged the monitor into the power strip, the light dimmed on it. So I went and checked the voltage on it, and I saw, oh, that's something wrong with the outlet. So I got to get another team engaged. It's going those extra steps that someone says, well, oh, that's not me. I'm just going to pass on that and send it over. I try to get as much information as I can, give it to the other people so we know what's going on. Sorry, I did not have as much as Andre for speaking points wise. I'm open to any questions anybody has.
So Woody, we've had some questions in the chat box. There's a question about suggestions for companies that typically hire, companies across the region that typically hire entry-level people who are, soon going to be high school graduates soon. Are you aware of any of those companies, and can you recommend?
Right off hand, I do not know of any. Entry level, I would say you're probably looking around. I don't know. I'm not entry level. I'm thinking it'd be around 15. I'm not positive on that, 15 per hour. I don't hold me to that because I don't know. I haven't had an entry level position in a very, very long time.
Yeah. Woody, are there any specific sites where IT folks go in terms of job searches, or do you utilize the same?
I use Indeed.
Okay.
Indeed was one that I used. I actually found this job listed on Indeed, and it pointed me to the company website. You have Indeed, you have Monster. Those are the two big ones. I preferred Indeed. A lot of I know people say this a lot, but a lot of networking helps. So if you can get a LinkedIn profile and start to connect with recruiters, and because of my level, I did a lot of networking just to try to build connections so I could build relationships with people who might have inside track to jobs. So building your network of people, because a lot of times you'll find jobs that are out there that aren't really listed. But if somebody knows you have a need or looking for something and they know you, they might be able to point you to that job that hasn't been listed yet.
Woody, are you and Andre, are you members of any professional organizations or communities of practice or things, organizations like that?
I am not. I do not want to speak for Andre. Andre? Andre's not.
So I wonder how you developed the confidence to dive into people's computers and to do particular things regarding computers and software and hardware.
A lot of trial and error. I'm not afraid to make a mistake. I've made plenty of them in my career, but I've always been able to recover. One thing I've learned with the company is if you make a mistake, own up to it. Never try to cover your mistake. If you make a mistake, own up to it. Don't try to say, oh, I didn't do that. Say, if you mess something up, say, yes, I did that. It'll be a learning lesson. You might get counseled on it, but once you make that mistake, you won't make that mistake again, and you learn from that and you grow. trying to see what else is coming across.
I'm actually just typing people letting them know about opportunities that SOCHE is always looking and to partner with companies and to try to get them to host high school interns. And so I'm just letting them know that. So that's what's happening in the chat right there.
Yeah. So with that, I mean, if you can just, I mean, there are professional groups you can join on LinkedIn, like service desk technicians, uh, help desks. There's CompTIA has a couple good things. Forums, as Andre said, are great for helping you. There's Office 365 forums, there's Windows forums. Forums are great, but also see how many people would respond to a fix saying, yeah, this fixed my issue. And instead of trying every fix you find, try to find the one that has the most positive results for a fix. Just don't go with the first thing you get in a search box because it might be an ad, as we've all found out. Any other questions?
I think that's it. I don't see any other ones. I just want to take this opportunity, Woody and Andre, to thank both of you for joining us today. You just did a fantastic job in kicking off our series. I look forward to the rest of the series. Patty has been putting some information in the chat box for everybody regarding the Zoom contact information for every Tuesday from now through the 7th of December. We're going to continue to do this and touch on a multitude of different IT careers. So we've got another question, Woody and Andre, from a high school senior or junior. He's asking, what can he do now to give himself a little bit of a boost in terms of when he graduates from high school?
So one thing you can do, and I'm actually using this site right now, is it's called Udemy. It's udemy.com, and it is a place online where you can get different courses for like $10-15. If they have A+, they have Cisco, they have courses on how to do Excel. It's just a great learning tool. And I would say you could do that if you wanted to start delving into maybe the A+ or the IT fundamentals, just to get yourself familiarized with those, just so it gives you a starting place. And then those also do offer practice tests, so you can see where you are advancing and what areas you need to improve on.
That's a great
for those
website.
tests.
I did not know about that. Thank you.
No problem. And then Andre put in that YouTube's also a great resource. You can also find videos for all these subjects on YouTube too that you don't have to pay for. But I will say with Udemy, all the instructors have to have like a 4.3 rating. Otherwise, their videos get dropped from the platform.
Okay, well, if nobody else has anything, we will let you go. We'll see you next week. And if your students are available, they are always welcome to attend. We are recording all the sessions, so you can replay them for your students if they're unable to attend, if they're busy with sports after school. But we will be doing this for the next couple of weeks. We appreciate your time. If you have any suggestions or comments, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And once again, Woody and Andre, we thank you for your time today. You all have a good day. Thank you.
You too.